Three, two, one, and welcome back, everyone, to another great episode of Breaking Bread with Corey. I am your host. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are on show number 3. We took a little break before we got into our last show of the day. We are closing it down with a very special guest, but before that, we are going to be talking to you about our Corey Summer Bash, Friday, May 28th, starting at 2:30 p.m. It is going to be to do. So if you get a chance to join us for that, it starts at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be joined by 10 other ambassadors throughout the course of 3.5 hours, starting with our supporter and sponsor of the event, from Society Pie, Josh and Stacy. They're a husband-wife team in the lovely neighborhood of Beaverton, Oregon. They are going to be our sponsors and our supporters. They're actually going to be kicking things off for the event starting at 2:30. They're going to be sharing their story, which is pretty amazing how they became our neighborhood pizzeria. But they invest a lot in the community and invest a lot in their employees, so I love that about them. And they've been a great supporter of Breaking Bread, so I'm glad to have them on board. And they're going to basically kick off our summer bash with 9 other ambassadors for the next 2 hours. At the 3 o'clock and the 4 o'clock, we're going to bring some of Breaking Bread, some of their favorite ambassadors that we've seen over the past few months. They're going to be joining me. There's going to be a panel of 3 per hour. And then the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to be sharing some time with some of our newest ambassadors, some of our newest ambassadors of the industry, but some of the ambassadors that we've never talked to before. And they're very special guests, and they're going to be our finale for the Summer Bash. And then at the final hour at 6 o'clock, we are going to be having basically a free-for-all. So if you would like to join us, if you'd like to join us for that, we are going to have a free-for-all where anybody can come on and just say hello and wish everybody a great summer. And I'm so excited to be sharing the screen with all these lovely ambassadors and supportive ambassadors in the industry doing such amazing work, and I can't do it without them. I can't do the show without them, so I'm so excited to share the screen with them one more time before the summer. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and kick this off, and if you're just joining us, go ahead and hit that little airplane button right on the very end. I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. Go ahead and invite the first five people, 6, 7, 8 people on your list. Have them say hello. Yeah, it's great. Hello. All right. Hello. Da. All right. Da. All right. All right. So go ahead and hit that airplane button, invite the first 5 or 10 people that are on your supporter list, your friends list, and then we'll go ahead and kick things off. I'm going to go ahead and bring my next ambassador on. Let's see if we can bring him on. Here we go. Let's see if we can get Robert on. Get him on. What an amazing day. I cannot say enough about all the ambassadors I've shared the screen with today. A little bourbon, a little rosé, and now a little Cabernet. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much for joining us. All right.
There we go.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
All right, sir. How are
To
you?
see you. I wanted to
Eh,
see if we have a background. I don't know if you can see my background.
Yeah, I see that. Beautiful.
Let me see. Let me move back a little bit and let me
Yeah,
this camera down a little. You can see the vineyard behind me.
I can see that. Yeah.
All right.
How was your day?
Too far from the camera.
A little bit. You're a little bit dark.
All right.
There you go. If you move up a little bit, there you go.
All right. Good.
Yeah. Now we can see you and hear you. How you doing? How was your day?
Doing well. Doing well. Just came back from playing around the golf. It's been 4 years since I played, but hey, I say, hey, a day on the golf course is better than a good day.
Yeah. How are things in Cali? How are things starting to open up?
Well, here in Southern California, things are opening up pretty good. We've had a tasting room open for the last month and a half, 2 months now, and we're seeing a lot of people come out on weekends. And originally, people needed reservations, but we did away with reservations because sometimes people would make reservations, they wouldn't show, and then other people didn't come.
Right.
But we have plenty of space here, and we continue to invite people without invitations, and we've been fine. It does get crowded a little bit, but people are okay because they can get a glass of wine and go to the fountain and hang out.
Right. Now, are you providing a lot of outdoor seating? Is that outdoor and indoor?
Pretty much outdoor. I'm right now where I'm sitting. I'm on the tent and looking at the vineyard behind us. Now, that's pretty much where people sit and hang out and talk, and it's great. We're having a good time. People are
That's
enjoying the
awesome.
weather,
That
enjoying being out, and enjoying just trying to get over this COVID thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I love that area of Santa Clarita. I actually used to when I lived in the valley. I lived in the valley for a little bit of time, and I was actually a part of a triathlon team out there called the Santa Clarita Tri Team. And I rode all throughout that area for my cycling workouts. It's such a beautiful area,
Yes.
and little did I know that there is a beautiful winery out there too as well.
Right. Yeah. Reyes Winery's here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
By the way,
go ahead. I got your cab.
awesome.
I'm so excited. I just opened this up, let it. I've been letting it breathe, and absolutely, absolutely delicious. And it's a 2011
2011.
from the Ala Dulce area, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. We are in the town of Palona appellation. Those are estate wines. We are the Sierra Palona Valley appellation. Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. And it's the one thing that I noticed too is the body's only it's moderate. It's about 13.7%. So it's not too high.
Right.
It's not too low. It's definitely on the moderate scale. It
Right.
seems like it's got a nice versatility as far as pairing with good dishes too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I make sure we pick our grapes a little bit about 25 to 26% sugar, and that gives us about 13 to 14% alcohol. And for the kind of body that wine has, the phenol, the right amount of, I think it's the right balance. The fruitiness, you taste the fruitiness in the wine. So, my dog
Wow.
is hanging out over here with me, so they're playing and these are one.
Just in case, I was gonna tell you, just in case. I don't know if it's the wind, but you might have a little bit of distortion sometimes when you talk. It seems like it goes out. Does anybody else hear any distortion on Robert's end? If you're joining us right now, do you hear?
I could move from this spot if you want me to.
You should be good. A lot of times, if you just sit close enough,
Right.
I think a lot of times if it's windy or the ambiance,
Right.
it gets a little bit of that wind noise.
Right. Let me see if I can do something with. I think the microphone might be on the sitting in the wrong place here. That might be the distortion. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. Well, I don't know if that's any better.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
let Okay, we'll
Okay.
try that. We'll try that. So why don't we go ahead and kick the show off and go ahead and introduce yourself, Robert. Tell everybody who you are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Reyes, and I own Reyes Winery right here in Los Angeles County, specifically in the town of Agua Dulce, which is part of the Santa Clarita Valley. And we opened for business in 2011, and we started out with our 2009 wines, which, by the way, gratefully, those wines all won gold medals, and we're very proud of that. We have a small vineyard here. We have 16 acres. Well, now 20. We've added another 4 acres that are not planted now because, again, one of our problems here is we don't have enough water. And so we are on well water, and so we have to manage our water very carefully. But that in itself contributes to the character of the wine because our vines mostly stress out in the summer, and what that does is it creates a thicker skin on the berries and a lot more concentration of flavors and the fruit. And you're smelling the wine now, and that's you can sense that terroir
Yeah.
and the fruitiness of the wine and the character. Well, that's why we are so fortunate enough that we have won a multitude of medals. I think our collection is almost 300 medals now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I actually when I smell the on the nose, I actually get a lot of red fruits. But what I also get too is I also get a little bit of that granite, almost that like rocky feel that I would get from
Minerally, some
yeah,
mineral.
minerally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and just like what you said about when you don't have a lot of irrigation and you allow the vines to fight and dig deeper,
Yeah.
it allows the vines to actually grow stronger and produce more of a stronger and more potent style character
Right.
to its notes.
Yet
And
yet the fruit is there, right?
yeah, the fruit is bombing. It's bright, it's rich, it's really heavy. It almost reminds me of a red velvet,
Right.
very deep and rich. That chocolatey sense, but deep, rich berries. But then you get this earthy sense of it. It's got a nice balance of
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's got that old and new world
You
combination.
bet.
You're talking about that valley there, the
Yes.
heat, the coolness, you get during the winter months and then
Right.
the spring and the summer,
Right.
I can't that it's really nice.
Right.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
So so you've been around since 2011, and what have the progressions have been like? What
Well,
is the progression?
we acquired this property at the end of 2002, and it had a couple of houses on it. I don't know if you saw the video that I sent you, but if you didn't, I'll go into some of that. But there were 2 houses on the property, and one house was built in 1911. The other one was 1915. So now we're talking over 100 years, right? And
Right.
so we bought the property in 2000, the end of 2002, and we ended up moving in at middle of summer 2004 after we planted the vineyard and rebuilt the houses, right? And subsequently, we built what is now the winery, which is a small building. It's a couple of thousand square feet, but it fits with the facade of the house and the style and the whole thing. So it's a nice looking property, and so we've been here since 2004.
Wow, that is just it's an interesting thing because again, we one of the things that I love touching on is very unique regions to what we normally hear. We normally hear as far as the Napa, the Sonomas, the Santa Barbaras, but this particular area is not widely known for
No,
winemaking.
no,
You got a plot of land that is like God sent. It is just like, hey,
right.
you got the terroir, you got everything that can contribute to great growth, and you're producing some fantastic wines. So what has it been like as far as even your first vintages? What was it like to see the acceleration
Right.
and the development of your wine?
Right. Well, the first couple of years of our vintages, we sold a lot of those grapes because at the time we were not licensed as a winery, and it took about 4.5 years in Los Angeles County to actually acquire a winery license. Well, that has changed since. We kind of paved the way for others. So there's several new wineries in Los Angeles County, and I think that had a lot to do with us paving the road for others to do the same thing. And
Yeah.
so the first few vintages we did keep some of those grapes. By the way, our 2006, 2007, and 2008, the wines that we made during those years, we actually made into port. We now have, a couple of years ago, we bottled a 13-year-old port that we
Oh
made,
man.
and it's an amazing. And in that particular wine, we've done 3 bottlings because we don't bottle a whole lot of it at a time. Maybe 5 or 6 barrels at a time. The last bottling that we did is amazing. 13 years in the barrel, and those are
Wow.
amazing wines. And yeah, yeah,
What
it
what what kind
definitely.
of grapes were they?
Yes, we took our 3 red grapes that we grow here. We have Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot, and those were the 3 from 3 different years, and we blended it all together. So it averages out when we bottled it at 13 years, right? So yeah,
Right.
yes, yes,
Wow, that must be an amazing port.
it it
I can't.
is, it is.
Because you got Syrah, you got almost this big round. When I think of Syrah all the time, I think of this roundness. It's like a basketball. It fills the bowl when you see it in the glass. I always say Syrah fills it, and then you got Merlot, which has these different characteristics. These rich fruits, and then some really fun characteristics, fruity characteristics, but rich characteristics. And then you got Cab,
Yeah,
and you got to think the voluptuous side of what grapes are. To put them all together, you have the Cab, the Merlot, and the Syrah. I can't imagine what that would be like, because even if you were smoking on a cigar, a stogie, and having
yes. Oh,
that
yeah.
Syrah, that thing would be so rich and perfect.
Right.
I
Yeah,
can't
it
imagine.
is. It is an amazing wine, an amazing wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't. So you did this sport. Now, what happened after that? What's going on? What happened after that, as far as the history?
Well, and so again, we opened in 2011, and we've sent our wines to competitions pretty much every year, except for the last year. We haven't, and I've been so into some other projects, which I will talk to you about. Uh, but but we have seen more and more people visiting and joining our wine club, and just being part of. We've been here for 10 years now. We've been open for 10 years.
Right.
So our following keeps growing, and we're so grateful. And I so enjoy doing this because it's been a passion of mine ever since I can remember. And
Right.
I think that passion came from uh, my side of the family that made wine. I come from a very long line of a lot of people, very prolific families, right? And the go back to my dad had 4 other brothers. But anyway, so let's call those the branches of the family. Every branch of my family made wine, and they made fruit wines back in the Caribbean where I was born.
Okay.
And so I never knew that until about 7 or 8 years ago when I visited there, and there was a Reyes family reunion. And in talking to others, I found out that every branch of the family made wine. So, and of course,
That's
where
crazy.
I got the idea from my aunt who used to make wine and visit us when I was a kid. And, you know, as kids do, we got to taste a little sweet wine. And, you know, that was fun. And I said to myself, someday I'm going to do this, right? And I did. And it's my passion, and I enjoy every bit of it.
That's awesome. It's in the blood. I love that. It's hereditary. You know, it's a part of something. That's what makes your wines very special. And that's the one reason why, again, I like sharing these stories of ambassadors like yourself, because they're unique. They're unique to the industry. We don't really get to see, again, what is the story behind this label, the
Right.
person that is behind this label, the winemaker, or the family that is behind the label.
By
You
the way,
know,
the painting on the label is one of my paintings. I am an artist,
oh wow,
and that's part of my vineyard series. And yeah, most of my wines will have a label that is a painting.
that's great. And is there any representation of this crest up here?
That is a family crest. We originally come from the Canary Islands in Spain. That's where many generations ago we came from. So that is the family crest there in the Canary Islands in Spain.
That's awesome. That is beautiful, and I love that artwork.
Thank you.
Again, you know, you wouldn't know this if it was just sitting on a shelf, but when you get to put the face and the voice to the label, then you start to go, wow, there's so much more to that bottle. You know,
Right.
Even how you were saying you just discovered, you know, just a few years ago that there's a family line of winemakers that has been doing this for many years. So that is an awesome thing.
I got these dogs here, and they just want to be around. Get out.
What kind of dogs are they?
These are German Shepherds.
All
I
right,
got 2 of
all
them.
right.
They've come to play here at you know. But hey, you
Yeah.
can hear them chewing on stuff. So you mentioned progression and where we're going and what we're doing. Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to purchase this piece of vacant land here in town. We have a redevelopment area in Santa Clarita. It's the Old Town New Hall, where movies used to be made. A lot of movies were made there, and still are some movies. But that is kind of small Hollywood in a way. And so
Right.
that area got abandoned over the years. And about 18 years ago, the city of Santa Clarita decided they were going to rebuild that. Well, I found a vacant lot there, right in the middle of Main Street. And we have now completed a 3-story building, and it's going to house a restaurant on the first floor. There will be offices for rent on the second floor. And then our top floor is going to be our tasting room, another, in addition to the winery here where we have a tasting room, we're going to have a tasting room there on Main Street. And we're going to have a restaurant that will serve food up there as well. So it's a rooftop tasting room with a capacity of 101. So that is coming up in the next couple of months. We're shooting for 4th of July, but who knows? As construction goes, we're still doing some construction.
Right.
We're so excited about that. So we're looking forward to having you, when you come down this way, to visit us and all of your followers. It'll be great to see some of your people come down and visit us at Reyes Winery here.
Absolutely. I mean, I got family right there in the valley, and so it'd be a great opportunity for them to explore something new that they haven't tried. And again, that's one of the reasons why I love doing these things, because it creates a information highway for people that are trying to explore more.
Yeah.
They want to see more. And uh, again, what you're doing out there is it's an amazing thing, because it's not really known. If you are part of the wine industry, you don't see that particular area as wine country or wine making.
Correct.
And what you're doing is, it's awesome what you're doing. And that's a story that just needs to be volumized. It needs to be, celebrated more, because, like I said, it's not the usual place. And I think when we were talking the first time, when we first started talking about coming on the show, we were talking about all these different wineries that are not really known in the LA area, like Rosenthal and Malibu and San
Yeah.
Antonio and yourself.
Right.
And it's a great way that if you're getting into wine, especially in that particular area where you don't have to travel too far to even get to Santa Barbara, you could reach
Right.
wineries like yourself
Sure.
and get a great representation of what wines
We
are
are.
in the industry.
Yeah, we are 45 minutes from downtown Los Angeles, so we do have a good audience here, and we get people from everywhere. But the fact that we're 45 minutes from downtown Los Angeles, we have a pretty good audience here. Yeah, I wish
That's
more people knew of us, because even
yes,
people in our own Santa Clarita Valley don't know that we're here, but we're getting more and
yeah.
more out there, and people are getting to know us more, and yeah,
But
it's great.
with wines like this, the wine that I'm tasting, you should have a larger audience. I mean, an amazing wine. It's a great wine.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, since you've been in a lot of competitions, what was it like to actually, a lot of people pass judgment just on, representation, whether it's the region or the wine label itself. What's it been like to be recognized and win medals? And you're saying, I'm from the Agua Dulce area. I'm producing wines in the Agua Dulce area in
Right.
Santa
Well,
Clarita Valley.
it's a great feeling, because you see, to be in this business in a small operation like we are, it takes a lot of passion, and it takes a lot of love of the wine and the art and all of that. So it's a very satisfying feeling to get a double gold medal, for instance, and be invited to exhibit in New York and in Florida and in San Francisco, places like that we get invited to, just to bring those double gold medals and some of our gold medals and stuff like that, and get to meet a lot of people around the country, and it's great. We've been invited also to even the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana. We were there for a
Wow.
wine festival, and that was quite the success. Yeah, yeah, it was great.
See, that's amazing, and again, you're representing an area that's completely unknown to the wine culture. And I cannot say it enough. What I keep on tasting, what I keep on digging. Every person that I share the screen with, and their products that I am sharing on the screen, it is just as bright and it is just as influential as any others. It's amazing, because you're saying, oh man, I wish a lot more people would know about us. And it's kind of like, this product, man, a lot more people need to know this. This is just a beautiful, it's well produced. You can see and smell the passion that you have. Like you said, it's been in your family. It's in a passion of yours. It's your vision of what you want being represented. Quality products. Again, it's quality, and it's just unheard of. I constantly think, when I look at your bottle, I think of, man, that's where Magic Mountain is.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Right.
But so well produced. So what is your vision for the future? Where would you like to see Reyes Winery go? Where would you
You
like
know,
it to be a part of?
right. And I think as time goes by and we do things like the new location in the center of Santa Clarita, the city of Santa Clarita, and especially what will become the entertainment center of Santa Clarita, then it brings me a lot of satisfaction to be able to do that and to see our brand grow and to be able to continue to bring the ultra premium wines that were my goal forever, to make ultra premium wines. And I know a lot of people recognize the quality and the passion and the art that goes into every bottle. And that's what we thrive for here, because I think wine actually begins in the vineyard, and we take care of our vineyard. We don't use pesticides, we don't use herbicides, we don't use any of that. We're actually still cleaning our vineyard with manually, and that says something for the quality of the fruit as well, because
Absolutely.
and so we take a lot of pride in what we do, and we take a lot of care in what we do. So as long as it continues to be my passion, that's the way it's going to be, and I don't see that changing. If anything, it's
Yeah.
going to get better, right?
No,
But as
that's
far as
great.
growth, I think there will be a synergistic relationship between the winery and the vineyard itself and that place that we're opening up in Santa Clarita. I think people who didn't know of us are going to discover us there, and vice versa. So it's a great thing to be able to be in that position.
Right.
Right.
So for those of you that are just joining us, I'm sitting with Robert Reyes from Reyes Winery in Santa Clarita in the Allergy area of the Santa Clarita Valley. And if you don't know where Santa Clarita is, it's actually, if you talk about the point of that area, the point of reference, it's actually Magic Mountain. It's actually deep in the mountainsides. It's in the hills. If you know California, it's on its way to, if you're going over the Grapevine and headed towards Bakersfield. It's not really known. It's not really a top quality AVA for winemaking. And Robert is producing some amazing, significant wines. I'm drinking his Cabernet, his 2011 Cabernet, an estate style cab. And we were just talking about the what you're doing as far as the production side, and how you're not using herbicides and pesticides, and you're doing a lot of things naturally and done by hand, and not using a lot of artificial things to
Correct.
help conduct your vineyards. And that is huge, because I see it, and I hear a lot of more ambassadors in their industry actually being more aware of what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's showcasing in what's in that glass. It's really amazing, because you can see the quality that is coming out of it.
Right.
And it's great, because not only are you getting quality products, but you're getting something better for the environment in general, especially someplace like California, which is dealing with a lot of stuff. You have a lot of different elements, there. So
Correct.
it's great to hear what you're doing with your vineyards and your berries, your grapes. It's great what you're doing, and it just shows in the glass.
Thank you. And I want to invite all your followers to come down and visit us and discover us here and see what we have. And we
Absolutely.
are in the town of Agua Dulce, which is in the Santa Clarita Valley. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's a great place, and like I said, when we come down, I'm planning a trip, hopefully soon, because I got family and friends down there that we haven't seen. I had a lot of friends when I worked for Disney that, a lot of them are getting their callbacks right now to help reopen the hotel parts, the resorts. So I was part of that resort part of Disney. And it's great to see things slowly but surely opening up, and opportunity for you with your new tasting room in the center of downtown Santa Clarita on Main Street. That's going to be great. I haven't been there. Last time I was in Santa Clarita was when the bike race, the Tour of California, came there, and it actually ended right there in Santa Clarita.
Right.
And so I love that area. It's a great area, and like I said, I used to be a part of the Santa Clarita Tri Club out there. So
Right.
great area to ride and just enjoy yourself and be amongst the vines. Now that
Right.
we know that you're there,
Right.
that is huge.
Okay.
So, is there anything that's up and coming as far as releases? Do you have any new releases that are coming out that we should know about?
We will be bottling in the next couple of months, and this year I purchased some grapes from a local vineyard. Not this year, but it's going to be a couple of years since then. But we have a Pinot Noir from a local vineyard here in Lake Los Angeles, which is about 45 miles north of us here, and it's tasting pretty good from the barrel. We are also doing a Grenache that was difficult to get because it's a Grenache that I made years ago from a friend of mine who is just down the street from us, and he has a small vineyard, but he's been selling his grapes to others. And so finally this year, I was able to get a couple of tons from him, and I have made his wine, and we still have some in stock, but I was able to, and this is from the same appellation. It's only a mile and a half down the road here. And so this year, I have some of that wine in the barrel, and it's amazing. It's an amazing wine. It's an amazing wine. So we'll be proud to present that as well from the same appellation, just
Right.
straight from us. So yes, we have, you don't hear much about orange wine or amber wine. Are you familiar with that wine?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that wine, if I could tell the story, I don't know if we have time to talk about that. Do we have enough time?
Yeah.
Kind of tell you a little story about that. Amber wine is made from white grapes, and it's been made the same way for thousands of years. And it mostly comes today from Georgia, the Republic of Georgia, and the way they make it there, and they've been making it for thousands of years. They make it in clay pots, so they blend different white grapes, and they make it in the same fashion as a red wine, right? So they crush and destem, and then they ferment that wine, and they keep it in clay pots underground for at least a year, and then they take it out, they filter it, etc., and process it that way. So it's a wine that has tannins, just like a red wine, but it's a white wine. So it's a white wine that has a lot of characteristics of a red wine. And so instead of doing it in the clay pots, we do it in French oak barrels.
Wow.
And then we add a little bit of the same fruit. We make it out of our own Chardonnay, and we add a little bit of the sugar content of the same Chardonnay grape, and it's a wonderful wine. And that's one of the wines we feature here. There's not too many wineries that make that wine, but we do, and it's an amazing wine.
That's great. See, that's also great to know. Something that is featured, that is unique to that particular area, but also the particular style of winemaking.
Correct.
You don't hear a lot about it, and that's really great. You're a pioneer, and even one of the viewers is saying, "Wonderful winery, very close to the Valley of Chatsworth. Visit you soon." So
yes,
you got some people that will definitely come out and visit you.
That'd be great.
And like I said, as soon as I'm able to come down, I'd love to come and visit and sit with you and chat and drink more of your wines, because they're absolutely delicious.
In person. Yes, of course.
Yeah. It's been great. Like I said, it's so exciting to, for one thing, you're talking to people online, and then you're emailing people, you maybe talk to people on the phone for a few seconds, but it's not really that special until you actually connect with it. This is one of the greatest things that we're able to do right now, is you could be over there and I could be over here, and we could connect in some way, but that, until you actually meet that person face to face, that is really special. So but thank you for, I always like to say this, but thank you for your time, and for being able to make time for us to share your story, to share your vision. Again, I can't say how important it is to um, show what is really out there, the hidden treasures of the wine industry, the wine, the beer, and the spirits industry. There's so many great ambassadors that are doing great things, that are doing things like yourself, that are not only producing really amazing products, but they're doing something that is really good for the environment as well. And that is a key thing. You take pride in what you do, and that's very special.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I know we're starting to get close to the end of our time and everything, and I cannot say enough about your Cabernet. Where can we find Reyes wines? Where can we get your wine?
We can actually ship our wine, but mostly here at the winery in Agua Dulce. We're on Sierra Highway. If people just look us up online, we're here in Agua Dulce on Sierra Highway. Our tasting room is open on weekends from 11 to 5 p.m. We extend the hours a little bit in the summer so people can come and hang out if they want to bring their own picnic or whatever. We have enough room. So we're here in Agua Dulce, and here we have all the wines that we list on our website. And again, we will be on Main Street soon. And also we ship wines all over the U.S. Of course, not all states we can ship to because there's some restrictions.
Laws,
Every state has
right?
their own, but I think it's 33 states that we can now ship to, and we are shipping wines to different places throughout the country: Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Colorado, etc., Wyoming. No, so we are shipping wine to many places, and we can ship wine anywhere, pretty much.
That is great, and I find that so many people now, like wineries, smaller wineries themselves are shipping direct, and I think it's a great way because you're kind of taking away the middleman. You're going direct, and you're giving better service. You're getting it in an efficient manner, and I love that. I love that ambassadors are taking it upon themselves to go, hey, I'm just going to give better service. I'm going to give better customer service straight across the board,
Right.
and get it to the consumer directly in their hand.
Yep.
So I love that.
Awesome. Yes.
That is awesome. So I always like to end the show with the $5,000 question, and just from your experience and what you've learned by generations, and what you're doing yourself, what kind of advice would you like to give any of the new ambassadors that are out there, whether they're winemakers or somebody that's trying to get into the industry, that they're the beginning of their journey or the middle of their journey or even toward the end, and they're kind of going, should I finish this? Should I go through with this? What kind of advice would you like to give them right now?
For speaking from my level of say a business enterprise, we're a very small enterprise. A lot of people want to get into the winemaking part of wine. Of course, winemaking is a passion. It's something that you feel you want to do, and I do encourage and I do help a lot of people who want to make wine at home. Not necessarily to get in the business. Some people are getting in the business. Some people I have been able to help. But if you have the passion for it, I'd say go for it. Experiment at home if that's what you want to do. And who knows, if you like it enough that you want to pursue it as a business, then do it. I can tell you it's not a very profitable business. Like any other business, it's difficult. But I stay in it because I love it. And if you love something like this and you want to do it, do it. Do it. I wouldn't. And if I can help anybody the way I've done so far with a lot of people who may have needed my advice, I always give my advice, and no problem. So anybody can reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help.
That's so great. That's so great. Thank you for for sharing that. Great words of advice. And if you don't know about Robert, follow Robert right now. You can go on his Instagram is Reyes Winery. You can follow him on there. He's in the Santa Clarita Valley near Magic Mountain in the Agua Dulce area. Just an amazing product. We got to keep in touch, Robert. We got to stay in touch. I always say it, we are part of a community. We're all trying to do this together by creating opportunity, by creating community. It opens up and it creates diversity for everyone. And it's going to be more opportunity. We're going to hear more about wineries like yourself in a unique areas, unique regions, and producing superb quality product. It is so amazing.
That
Yeah,
has
we
been our
definitely.
goal and will continue to be our goal to bring the best wines that we possibly can. We have ultra premium wines, and I would love for everybody to try them.
Absolutely. And that's the thing that I love too. Last point that I love to say is every person that I share the screen with, including yourself, Robert, one of the main things that they like to say and really stress is they're in it about their passion, about what they love to do. It's not so much, like you said, it's a lot of times it's not about so much the money part of the end of it. What you're not making so much money out of, but it's really about the passion, and it's about putting great quality product out there for the consumer to enjoy. Right. And that shows, I can't say it enough, in this bottle. And it's really special. So if you get a chance, go ahead and follow Robert right now. You can go ahead and click on to his Instagram at Reyes Winery. And don't forget, you could go and visit, call him up on, what's the website that we could get in contact with you at?
ReyesWinery.com. And for emails, it would be info@reyeswinery.com. So visit
Absolutely.
our web and take a look at our wine store and hear read our story. We have hikes once a month, by the way, which is something else we do here. So our next hike is June 19. We do them on Saturdays. It's 6 or 7 miles, a couple hours. It's a fun day.
What time do you usually start those hikes?
We leave here promptly at 8 a.m. Everybody gets here about 7:30, get ready, and then we go out for a couple hours, and we come back and have brunch, and then we have wine tasting, and we do a tour of the winery and all of that. It's a fun day.
Oh man, I when we come down, I definitely got to participate in that. That just seems so wild and so fun. And definitely check out Robert on his website, reyeswinery.com. Thank you so much again for your time, your support, Robert. We'll stay in touch. Don't forget my summer bash next week. If you want to come back and just say a few words, join us on that time. I'd love for you to come back. But I will always continue to do what I can to support you and your endeavors and your vision here. This is what we do. We are a voice for everyone.
Awesome.
We create community.
I'm grateful for the invitation to participate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much again, Robert.
All right.
Until next time, we got to cheers out. Cheers, sir.
All right.
All right. All right. What a conversation with innovative winemaker and Robert Reyes of Reyes Winery. Again, we support family businesses. We support small businesses. We support small entities. We support the unique entities. This is what it's about. It's about community. And that's always been who I've been from day one. Being the youngest in my family, I've always been the underdog, the little guy. And to me, I think, it doesn't hurt to support the Goliaths, but there's a time and place where we can say, okay, we can support the little guys. We can support the local family businesses, the local businesses, because this is what we need. We're in a time where, even though things are slowly but surely starting to open up, not everything is perfect right now. So we still got a lot of, it's inconsistency. So now is the time. If you're in the wine industry, if you're in the beer industry, or if you're in the spirit industry, now's the time to really invest in what you drink and what you taste. We can definitely help support these smaller entities and what we do, how we see things. It's like voting. I always say, if you invest in what the products is, whether it's organic or non-organic or so forth, biodynamic, vegan, or local family businesses, it's a way that you're still creating your own voice. You're creating that mark, just like a vote. And you're saying, I want to invest more in that. I want to see more in that. So please continue to do your parts. Thank you all for your support. What an amazing day with 3 ambassadors from all over this country, from Kentucky to Oregon to California, some amazing ambassadors. Don't forget, join us on Friday, May 28th for Corey Summer Bash. We are going to close season 1 with a bang, with 10 ambassadors that we're going to share the screen with, over 3.5 hours of fun. They're just not here for me, they're here for you. So if you want to participate and have fun, come along and join us. Don't forget, it starts at 2:30. We're going to have 10 ambassadors, three panels of 3 ambassadors per hour, starting at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you also can join us at the very end at 6 p.m. I'm inviting anybody who wants to come in and say a few words. I'll bring you on, and you can wish everyone a happy summer. Wish everyone well. Now things are opening up, and everything is great, slowly but surely. But again, don't forget, Friday, May 28th, Corey Summer Bash. Until then, everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. Stay well, stay healthy, and cheers.